All right, thanks, Cuff. Also new tonight, this year is a huge milestone for a Bettendorf woman. It's been 20 years since Lori McFate's life-saving bone marrow transplant. And to honor her anniversary and all those that helped her through her cancer journey, Lori is running in the New York City Marathon on November 1st. But what's more, every single dollar she raises is going back to the cancer support community at Gilda's Club. And we have Lori joining us right now here on The Current. Congratulations on 20 years. That's incredible.
Thanks, Shelby. It's been a wild 20 years, 90% fabulous. Obviously some hardships come along with the transplant, but I'm grateful every day to be here.
I know this is such a big question, but is there a moment that stands out when it comes to your cancer journey from diagnosis to recovery?
I would say 1 year post-transplant, I had severe transplant rejection. We call it graft versus host disease. And it became more than I could manage, physically, emotionally, mentally, and medically. And so, a very deep, dark time in my life. But Gilda's Club, they had the big house on River Drive back then. And I got in touch immediately with a social worker there. And really, we had a very lengthy conversation about the hardships behind me, the hardships in front of me, but honestly, the great life that I could have if I would stay strong and focus and move forward. And here we are 20 years later.
When you think about all of the people that cancer support community has impacted in our region, it is overwhelming. What all have they done for you and your family?
So my son was in elementary school when I was first diagnosed and preparing for transplant. That includes a lot of chemo, radiation, many trips to Omaha. That's where my transplant team was and still is. And of course, my parents were my caregiver, but also obviously helping with my son. And they had many trips to Omaha. And so when I think about us personally, it was the fact that they could cover every age and every person involved in my cancer journey.
And that they stuck with you for years.
My parents, my son, and Gilda's Club.
Exactly,
yeah, we're still in this very nested together. I feel very much responsible for giving back to them and giving back to this community that I love so much, making sure that people know that Gilda's Club is out there, cancer support help is available, free of charge, and whether I help them or somebody at Gilda's Club, we are all together in this cancer journey.
And your journey had an incredible moment earlier this spring. You marked 20 years by flying to Germany. Who did you meet while you were over there?
I did. So on May 19th, I took the train from London, Europe to Brussels, and my donor he drove from Marrow, Germany to Brussels, and we met and we had lunch. We walked around the city. We bought chocolate. I'd been quite sick with transplant rejection, and this is the second time we've proven that close proximity, like lunch and chatting and strolling, my DNA recognizes his DNA, and it's definitely, it was a life-saving moment for me that day.
I think we have a photo of you and your donor together.
Yeah,
this
Michael.
summer. Yeah, Michael. Have you guys kept up correspondence throughout the years?
We do. I had to wait 2 years post-transplant before they would exchange any information. That's to protect him. They don't want a donor to donate and then the survivor maybe not make it, and so it's a protective measure. But yes, I got in touch first with his wife. She was more active on email and Facebook, and then I won an essay, and they brought him to the state. So I first met him in December of 2013, and then I had a quick lunch with him in Brussels on May 19th of 2018, same date, strange irony on that. But yeah, and I message him when I'm not feeling well or something's going on, and I feel like maybe there's something going on with him because the DNA knows.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
It is wild.
And you are no stranger to running. You've done marathons, you've done countless 5Ks and 10Ks. You've got your first 100-mile race coming up in October.
I am going for Hennepin 100, 100-mile race in Illinois. It's going to be a long ways. I got good crew, good support, and a good running mate. And I don't know what our time will be, but we are determined to finish without a doubt. On time.
Well, if that couldn't get even more impressive, I'm so blown away by the fact that you're doing that in October and then just a few weeks later running the New York City Marathon.
Yes.
You were approached by cancer support community nationally to represent them.
Yes.
What is that honor like for you?
It's very scary. It's a big commitment, time-wise, financially, and then obviously the fundraising component. It relies on family, friends, neighbors, strangers to help me navigate this journey, but the CSC out of Washington, D.C., huge advocate of the runners, of the participants, of the charities, and the fundraising. So they've made it seamless.
So you are raising money right now, and
Yes.
all of those dollars, like we said, will go back to support
Yes,
CSC.
absolutely.
What is your message tonight? Maybe for people that have never interacted with cancer support community
Sure.
or haven't needed their services, about why this money is so important.
I think the hardest reality for me is we live in Iowa. It's the state, #2 state of growing cancers and cancer diagnosis. And so unfortunately, I believe that if you aren't impacted by cancer today, you may very well be impacted by cancer sometime. Obviously, somebody very close to you will probably, if not you, and you will need those services because it's not about diagnosis, it's not about the doctors, it's not about the treatments. It's so much bigger. It's a heavy lift, emotionally, physically, financially, emotionally. And so Gilda's Club is there right here in our town, both sides of the river, ready to help.
Offering free services to
Free
cancer
services.
support or cancer patients and their families
Yes,
as well, which is
absolutely.
unbelievable. Lori, you are so impressive.
Aw,
I can't
thank you.
believe all that you're doing this year. Thank you so much for taking
Thank you
time
for
and
having me.
coming on here with us. You can also catch Lori coming up this fall at Diamonds and Divas, supporting cancer support community, but we'll talk about that in the coming weeks. For right now, though, if you want to donate to Lori's cause for the New York City Marathon, head over to WQAD.com and the As Seen on TV tab.